to the channel. So this week's video is about my build up to the big half marathon. In this video I shall be taking you through the final week of training for the big half marathon on Sunday. Hope everyone's well and hope everyone's running plans are going to plan with their races this weekend. So it's quite a big weekend for quite a few of us with half marathons coming up. So this Sunday coming is the big half marathon. This week I'll be covering my final week of training. I'll be revealing how I prepare myself for such a big race. As the big day approaches, it's pretty critical really that I try and get that fine line just right regarding the training and also my nutrition. We'll be discussing the importance of my final taper as well. Additionally, I'll be incorporating some of my nutrition habits, which is practically the norm for me anyway, especially during a training block, and also how I mentally prepare for Sunday as well. Right, so we'll start off with my Sunday run and let's see how we get on. Right, so thanks for joining me on my 13 miler today. So I'm well into the run now. I'm on the uphill section. It's halfway now. Once I get over the top of these big climbs, then I can relax a little bit and hopefully naturally pick the pace up a little bit. So let's see how it goes. Well, just coming up 12.70 miles, so I'm almost at the end. So that's quite a tough run for me in the end. So I'm a little bit disappointed, to be fair. So just gonna have to try and take not too much notice of this one. And not feeling great, feeling tired already. Not even 13 miles. Hopefully just a reaction from yesterday. But keep it going anyway. Well, that's the 13 done anyway. 1 hour 42, 13 miles. Average pace 7.53 miles. Yeah, so I was pretty pleased with that run in the end on Sunday. It wasn't one of my best ever runs, but I got it done, ticked the box, and I can move on now for my Tuesday session. This was the last sort of big session, and it was obviously important to do a session with less than a week before the half, because the one thing you want to do, you don't want to completely shut your body down too far in advance of such a race. Now bearing in mind for me that the pace is going to be pretty high in terms of what I normally run at anyway, so I felt that this particular session was ideal prep. So this is how we get on with that session on Tuesday. So here we are, track Tuesday. So the week is passing quickly as anticipated, being that it was a bank holiday weekend as well. So I recovered quite quickly after me run on Sunday, but I did have a bit of a reaction on my right side, sort of ran near my sort of hip. The muscle was a little bit tight in the last couple of miles and it sort of slowed me down a little bit. So I was hoping for a little bit of a better run than what I sort of planned for, but it was still an okay run. Not much improvement from the last time that I'd done the same route, but I can't read too much into that. Tonight is 3 sets of 3 400s, but only with 100 recovery. So it's going to be a bit of a tight session tonight, a little bit pacey for me, but I'll give it a go, and I will obviously try not to knacker myself out too much. But I will be taking it easy on Thursday morning, and I have a sports massage booked up as well for the first time in a while. So hopefully that might help things out as well with the little bit of pain I've got down the side. Anyway, I'll let you know how the session goes as soon as I get back, and fingers crossed, an injury-free session. Track session done. Got it all done. All three sets of 3 400s, only with 100 recovery. First rep was probably a little bit too quick for my first one, so I was breathing pretty heavy after the first one. So that was an 87. The second one was a 89, and then I did slow down quite a lot to a 92. And then the second set after the extra 400 recovery, the first one was 90, 87, and then an 85. I was pretty pleased about that. I pushed that one, and then I had the extra recovery to get myself ready for the next 3. Started off with an 86, an 85, and you're not gonna believe this, an 83. So I finished the session with a really quick 83 400. So that's really good going for an old slow boy like me. So fingers crossed for Sunday. You can see there on that track session it went pretty well. I was very happy how it all worked out. At last I have something positive for the week after a disappointing weekend of running. I let myself down on Saturday. It was very frustrating for my park run. I ran really bad. Anyway, so on to Thursday. So a quick Thursday session. Just doing a nice little easy run this morning. Nothing too strenuous. It's all about getting myself to the start line on Sunday, feeling as finely tuned as possible. Whether that's possible for me, I don't know. Nice and easy this morning. I'm going to do a few strides, a few 15-20 second bursts, maybe just 4, nice and easy, nice jog around the park, and then back home, maximum 5 or 6 miles, see how it goes, and then off to work. Countdown is truly on now. So it's a little bit unusual for me this year for this half marathon, because my half marathons are normally always part of a marathon build-up, but for the first time ever I'm just specifically been trying to train for this half. But it'll be interesting because not coming off the back of those long runs, I don't think I'm gonna get as good as time as I would be on tired marathon training legs. Right, so the end part of this video now really is just how do I prep for the actual race day, which is actually quite really important. So I'm gonna take you now through some important bits and pieces that you need to make sure that are sorted out before such a big running event. It's not like a normal park run where you can just roll up and just run. This is very important that you get yourself prepped, and I'll take you through a list of things now. So nutrition is obviously a very important part for us runners. Sort of a typical meal that I might have, especially like midweek if I'm definitely going to run the next morning. Sweet potato chips, which are very high in carbs, spinach, protein, tomatoes, cucumber, and I do like a hard-boiled egg as well, which is very good, and some beans, which are very high in protein and quite filling as well. So after me sweet potato chips are cooked in the air fryer, they only take about 20 minutes. So obviously that's just an example of the type of meal that I'd have. The back end of the week I'd be more heading towards more of a carb loading dish, so that would involve more pasta. So I would only eat pasta up until Friday, and then I would ease off on the Saturday and eat more a lighter based dinner, like maybe a jacket potato with salad and maybe a couple of slices of pizza. Now on the evening before the big race, I will be getting my bag prepped. So watch this next little part of the video and we'll see how that goes. I always like to get my running kit out at least the night before, but just for you guys now, I'm just showing you today. All I've got to do is just pin my number onto my running vest, shorts, socks, running shoes ready. Just one thing about the running number, you may notice that there are some details here. The S means the south side of the river. That's where I presume my baggage drop-off point is, and I'm in wave A. So it's important, really important, that you read the website to check your entry times, what time you need to be there. And on the subject of what time you need to be there, you need to plan your journey well in advance. So I've checked my trains, I've checked everything out. There's a train strike, so I've got to make alternative arrangements. I've got to get on the underground from North Greenwich, so I've got to be dropped off there nice and early, so I'm not late. And then just quickly, just regarding the kit bag, which should have your sticky label, which you have to stick on yourself. So I've got my collection point and my running number. So that should correspond with your running vest number. So you need to make sure all this is correct. So the only other thing that I like to do, me personally, is I always take a rucksack. So only one thing that I like to do myself personally, because I don't like these clear bags showing everything that you've got inside your bag. So a little sort of cheat there, a little hack that I do is I put this rucksack, fits nicely inside the plastic bag, and that does up nicely. There's plenty of room there, even still to put your running shoes at the bottom of the bag as well, or down the sides, which I like to do. So that way anything valuable, like if you're going to take a debit card or your mobile phone, it should be okay in there. Right, so that's about it for this video. So I hope I've covered most of the important points regarding your prep for your half marathon, if you are doing a half marathon this weekend, or if you're doing one in the future. This is a good video to watch for future reference. Make sure you get your nutrition correct, and hopefully you'll be pretty much injury free, decent taper. Don't forget to do some running the week before. Don't completely stop. You need to do something just to keep ticking over. Drink plenty of water during the week. Make sure you're well hydrated. Check your travel plans, just a reminder about that, because you never know if there's any disruptions, industrial action like there is on my train line. So I'm gonna have to get a lift to the tube station and then train into London Bridge. Apart from that, all I can say is good luck to everyone who is doing a marathon this weekend, half marathon should I say, or any other race that might be. Good luck everyone the weekend. So lace up them running shoes and don't forget to subscribe.